guys, so today we're going to start working on systems of equations word problems. Last time we did more numerical stuff, but this time I'm just going to show you how to set up the equations. The same steps are the same. The only thing that's different, we need to understand how to set up these equations. Okay, so let's start with this one. I have 5 questions here. Right, if you pause them, try to solve them yourself, and then after we can go through them together. But here we go. At a movie theater, adult tickets cost $12 and child tickets cost $8. One evening, 5 tickets were sold for a total of $52. How many adult and how many child tickets were sold? Okay. I'll use a blue color. Okay. Our first step, always label our variables. Okay? So, we're trying to figure out how many adult tickets and how many child tickets. So, let's say let X equal adult tickets, and then let Y equal children tickets. This is the most important step. If you have this down, you're pretty much 75% done. Okay, now what else do they tell us? Adult tickets cost $12 and child tickets cost $8. One evening, 5 tickets were sold. Okay, so X plus Y, the adult tickets plus the children tickets equals 5, right? That's how many total tickets were sold. And now they tell us a total of $52, okay? So adult tickets, 12x, right? $12 per adult ticket and $8 per child ticket should equal the total of $52, right? So just a quick little aside. If I don't know, let's say I have 5 tickets and each ticket costs $8, right? $8, $8 per. That means I spent $40 in total. That's basically what I'm doing, right? Except this time I don't know. There's X tickets, right? There's X tickets or Y tickets depending on children or adult. Okay, so that's where I'm getting this 12x plus 8y equals 52 from. In case that was a little bit confusing. Okay, now back to blue. Now we have our system. Now we can solve it the same way that we did last time. I'm going to multiply this top equation by negative 8y so that, or sorry, no, negative 8, just that. Why would I do that? It's because I'm trying to cancel at least one variable out. I'm trying to either cancel x or y. I'm just deciding to cancel out y because 8 is smaller than a 12, okay? So I'll show you. So negative 8x plus y equals 5 times negative 8. Remember, always multiply both sides. Negative 8x minus 8y equals negative 40. Now, these two are the same. X plus y equals 5 and negative x minus 8y equals negative 40. These are the exact same. So use my second equation. 12x plus 8y equals 52. Great. These cancel. So I'm just cancel. Now I get negative 8x plus 12x. What is negative 8x plus 12x? That's just 4x. And negative 40 plus 52 is what? 12. So x equals 3. And remember, how did I get this? We're just adding down. So x equals 3. Now I have my children tickets. So 3, or sorry, x is what? X is adult tickets. It's important to remember, okay? So x is adult tickets. X is adult tickets. So we have 3 adult tickets. And now they also want to know how many adult tickets. How do we find adult tickets? Just plug this 3 back into this equation or this equation. I feel like it's a lot easier to plug it into this equation though. So I'm just going to give us 3, right? I'm just plugging in x plus y equals 5, y equals 2. So that means 2 children tickets. Make sure you write units. As always, people are going to get upset if you don't. But there's my answer, 3 adult tickets and 2 children tickets. This is why it's important, though, to label what your x and y is. Okay, I figured out that x equals 3. If I didn't label it, I could have written children tickets by accident, but I labeled it, I got adult tickets. Okay, alright, so let's start our next one. We're going to, again, pause it, try to solve it yourself, and then come back, we'll solve it together. Sophie went to the market and bought 2 apples and 3 oranges for $18. The next day, she bought 4 apples and 2 oranges for $20. What is the cost of 1 apple and 1 orange? Okay, remember, our plan for solving every single word problem system of equation is label our variables. So what should our variables be? Well, they're asking for the cost of 1 apple and the cost of 1 orange. So I'm going to make it a little bit easier. So let A equal cost of 1 apple. Great. And then let B, I'm not going to use O because O looks too much like a 0. Cost of 1 orange. Cool. So we have our variables down. Let A equal the cost of 1 apple and let B equal the cost of 1 orange. We're 75% done. All we have to do is write our system. So she bought 2 apples, right? So 2 apples, 2 times the cost of 1 apple, plus 3 oranges, and that all equaled $18. Okay? The next day she bought 4 apples plus 2 oranges for $20. Okay. How did I get these numbers? Well, again, this is a very similar but an aside right here. If the cost of 1 apple, let's say, is $3, and I bought 2, I'm going to get 6, right? And the cost of 1 orange is $1, and I bought 3, I'm going to get 3. And I add them together, my total cost is $9. So that's basically what I did, except I don't know 3 or 1. So I'm just relabeling that as A and B. Okay? So just in case that was a little bit confusing on how I got the coefficients, there you go. Now, next step. We need to figure out a way to cancel out A or B. Okay? First thing I notice, I'm going to multiply this top equation by -2, so I get -4 and 4 top and bottom respectively. So -2 times 2a plus 3b equals 18 times -2. That's -4a minus 6b equals -36. Okay, great. Now we can put down my second equation. 4a plus 2b equals 20. Remember, add down. -4a plus 4a is 0, so these just cancel. I get -6b plus 2b is -4b. Okay? And -36 plus 20 is -16, which means b equals 4. So b equals 4. So that means 1 orange costs $4. So 1 orange costs $4. That's a pretty expensive orange. Okay, right? And how did I know that was an orange? Because we labeled it. This is why it's so important to label. Okay, now how do we get the cost of an apple? All we have to do is just boop, just plug that back into here or here, whichever one. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna plug it into the top one just cause. So right here, I'll do it right here. So 2a plus 3b is 4 equals 18. 2a plus 12 equals 18. 2a equals 6. A equals 3. Sorry, this is a little bit messy, but a equals 3 and b equals 4. So we can show our answers. But that just means that 1 apple costs $3. All right, and there's our answer. Okay. Okay, so here's our next question. A school has a total of 20 bikes and trikes. Okay. 3 world cycles. Okay. Altogether, there are 46 wheels. Okay. How many bikes and how many trikes are there? Okay. Remember, first step. Variables, what are they asking? They want to figure out how many bikes. So let B equal number, hashtag is just number of bikes, and then let t equal number of trikes. I remember writing these when I was in lower school. Okay, so number of bikes, number of trikes. Okay, so there's a total of 20 bikes and trikes. So the number of bikes plus the number of trikes equals 20. Okay, done. We knocked out our first equation. Altogether, there are 46 wheels. Okay, so a bike has 2 wheels. So 2 wheels times the number of bikes plus 3 wheels times the number of trikes should equal 46. Okay, we have an equation. Now it's just simple. I'm going to multiply this top one by -2 so I can cancel these out. So -2b plus t equals 20 times -2. That's -2b minus 2t equals -40. And bring out my second equation. Add down. -2b plus 2b. That's just 0, so I can cancel these. Now I get -2t plus 3t is just t equals -40 plus 46. That's 6. Right? So that means we have, I'll write this in a different color so we know what's our work and what's not. I'll use yellow. 6 trikes. I don't know. Yellow reminds me of lower school. Okay, 6 trikes. And then now we want to find out our bikes, plug it back in to either one of these equations, but I'm going to plug it into the top one because it's just easier. It's obviously a lot easier than this bottom one. So b plus 6 equals 20, b equals 14, and b is the number of bikes, so that just means we have 14 bikes. Boom. And there's our answer. And the good thing about these types of questions that you can check them, right? So first, just look at our original question. As a total of 20 bikes and trikes, well, 6 plus 14 is 20. So we got our first condition met. Altogether, there are 46 wheels. Okay. Well, 6 trikes, so 6 times 3, right? Plus 14 times 2 equals 18 plus 28, which equals 46. And that's our second condition met, so we know we got it right. You don't have to check, but if you have some extra time, it's obviously a good idea to check. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. Next one. Samantha took 2 math tests. The total of her scores was 172. The second score was 14 more than the first. What were her 2 scores? Okay. Again, we have this down. First step, variables. And what are they asking? They're asking for her 2 scores. So I'm just going to use x and y, right? So let x equal first score, and then let y equal second score. Okay, the total of her scores was 172. So that means x plus y, her first score plus her second score, is 172. Then it says the second score was 14 more than the first, okay? So that just means x plus 14, the first score plus 14 equals the second score. Alright, now this one's a little bit different, right? Because we can't add down because x and y are not lined up. So this, let me use gray, I guess. Gray. I'm going to change it into a more easy to understand. So x plus 14 equals y is the same as x minus y equals minus 14. Right? All I did was just mess around with the variables. Okay, now that I have that, I'll put this. I don't need to change. X plus y is the same spot. X plus y equals 172. And now I can add down. So x plus x is 2x. Y minus y is 0, so these can cancel. And then 172 minus 14. Okay, so that's 8, 2, 5, 158. That means x equals 79, I think. Yeah. Okay, so x equals 79. So that's our first score. Then it says her second score is 14 more than the first. We don't need to kind of interpret that. We can just use this equation that we wrote up here, or this equation, doesn't matter. So we can write already right here. So 79 plus 14 equals y, which is her second score, which is what? What's 79 plus 14? 1393. So her two scores were 79 and 93. And that's our answer. Okay, last one. Liam has 15 coins made of nickels and dimes totaling $1.05. How many nickels and how many dimes does he have? Okay, so I don't need to say this again, but how many nickels, how many dimes, that's their variable. So let n equal number of nickels. Let d equal number of dimes. So he has 15 coins, so that means the number of nickels plus the number of dimes is 15. Okay, now we need to have a little bit of money knowledge, right? A nickel is worth is 5 cents, and a dime is 10 cents. These two are both in cents. The thing they gave us is in dollars. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just change this $1.05 into 105 cents, right? That's what $1.05 is, right? Because there's 100 cents in $1. So now I have 5 times the number of nickels plus 10 times the number of dimes equal the total number of cents, which is 105. Okay, now we have our equation. We just have to solve it. So top one, I'm going to multiply by -5, right? So I can cancel these out. So -5 n plus d equals 15 times -5. And then that equals -5n minus 5d equals -75. Okay, bring down the second equation. So 5n plus 10d equals 105. Add down. So -5n plus 5n is 0, so these cancel. Then I have -5d plus 10d is 5d. And -75 plus 105, wow, what is that? That's just 30. So I get d equals 6. Okay, so d, what I said, was the number of dimes. So he has 6 dimes. Okay, plug this back into whichever equation. But by now, I hope it's obvious that this first equation is a lot easier to plug it back into. So n plus 6 equals 15. N equals 9. And we have our answer. Remember, we can't leave it like this, though. We have to write it down. D equals 6. So that means he has 6 dimes and 9 nickels. And there is our answer. Again, you can check, right? So 6 plus 9 is 15. That's what they said. And then 105, or $1.05. Yeah, so 60 plus 45 is 105. And so we know we got this one correct. Yeah, so I'll leave some more questions in the description with answer keys, like a PDF. And next time we'll start working on linear inequality, or linear inequalities, and then systems of inequalities. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. If you have any suggestions on how I can improve making my videos, leave them down there too. And if you have any questions just overall in general of any math concepts, leave them down in the comments. I'll make a video on them. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, do all that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.